In this video I show you the things which are with me, the tools, the drawing tools, when I'm outside on the go, on some journey, on a drawing retreat or something like this. Not always all at the same time, but here are the more smaller, compact drawing tools. I will show you a self-made palette with the magnetic pens, a box for the fine liners, and of course I explain the tools and how I use them. A very nice case for all my different pens I don't use daily. The ink I use, waterproof and usable for fountain pens. So really all the time with me pen case with the different drawing tools. A small sketchbook, a larger watercolor sketchbook, and my smallest watercolor palette and some little bit bigger watercolor palettes. Hello my dear friends and colleagues, Martin here again. I got often the questions about my drawing tools and what I'm showing you in this video. My smaller bankers and one larger one. This is with me when I'm on the road, drawing on location. And also the watercolor, the ink, I use when I need it in a smaller package. What I'm drawing with these combination of ink and watercolor, fountain pens and dip pens are things like this. Most often or mostly there are parts from on location, from real world, and the rest is then from fantasy. Here's some tools. Garden. Here I used pigmented colored ink. Here with watercolor. Here I will do a comparison between watercolor and colored ink. And so on, and this I did with the fountain pen. So, the tools. So let's start with this nice leather pen case. It's the real leather, and this one is from Londo, not London, Londo. Leather Pad Folio it's named. All the names of the products I list in the video description. And this video is not sponsored. I bought all this stuff by myself. And so yeah, let's start here. This is the leather case. This comes with a notepad, a small notepad. It's about A5 or A6. No, it's A6. This is more an A5 here. And I started with this after I used many different brands of ink. Fountain pens. Then I ended up, so the last month, with these fountain pens by Twsbi. This model is, this type is Twsbi Eco Clear, and I have one with an extra fine nib and fine nib, so not that much of a difference, and one bold. It's called B. This is the other type, but the same principle or the same type, but only with a white cap, with the bold nib for thicker lines. And then I thought it would be funny and nice to also use the mini version of this Twsbi Eco Clear. So it's just a size, and of course there is more ink in it. I will show you which inks I use for fountain pens. Important that they're waterproof and made for fountain pens. This then later. Then when I color it with watercolor or shading it with diluted ink, I use this Il Doppio. It's an Italian company, I guess. Borciani Bonazzi Travel Brush #1. And the nice thing is, here we have something like a round quill brush, and then on the other side there is a very precise, nice, smaller round brush. Very important for me that everything fits in here. Then we have a normal mechanical pencil, but I rarely use them because I don't do pre-drawings in most of the cases. A brush pen. So for the larger dark shaded areas I use this brush pen, and like all the others I refill constantly. I refill them with the ink of my choice. Then a water brush, just when there is no water and I want to dilute the ink on paper, then I use this water brush. I use this because the tip is quite nice, not too large, not too small, and the water tank is huge. Then we have, but it's not always with me, Faber Castell, Albrecht, Dürer watercolor markers. So water-based markers you can dilute on paper with water. So there is also a bigger brush dip and a smaller one. But that's not always with me. And then my beloved dip pens. And the problem with the dip pens was always that they have normally these large holders. And you see, when there is a nib on it, then it doesn't fit here. And then the first thing what I did, I broke them here. So this was also a larger one. Broke it here so that it fits here in the case. And for protection and safety, I take some of this plastic. They are on most of the brushes, the watercolor brushes. When you order them, they come with these caps, just with tape. Also here the tape, so that this fits and holds tight. And now the length. And today I saw I already own these small, because you can order them. They're very cheap. Go and order them online, and they are in a perfect size for these cases. And here with just with tape inside there is a roll of paper, and for protection, so that I don't hurt all the time with this these nibs. These nibs are very flexible one, so for very thin and very thicker lines, and also for doing these sparkles, so when you do some ink splashes and so on. And this fits quite good here in these leather case. Here I show you the 3 inks that I use for my fountain pens: carbon ink, the write and drawing, and the sketch ink by Rohrer and Klingner. On the other hand, I have here, and these cases are normally these are for cables organizer, cable organizer. When you look at online, there are many different types of these for cable organizing, and here are some of my smaller foil brushes, some other brush pens. And here, this is very important, this is an injection needle, and so this is very safety here, also ordered online. And then here I soak up the ink, and I can really feel all the converters in these pens. My formerly used fountain pens, yeah. And here, this larger part, I have all my parallel pens and some white markers. Also very handy, very useful. And there is also room enough for a small watercolor case. The watercolor case. Here I have a small, since 3 or 4 weeks. I saw this. This is smaller than the normal small palettes. These are these more known cases. Here I have one that's filled up with Daniel Smith. Another one I filled up with colors by Schminke. And they are a little bit larger than this from Roman Smar, a Polish company. And this is really small. It comes with 8 different colors, and there is room for 2 larger, so one size, not half size, full size pens. And there I added one black and one yellow, lemon yellow. Also very, very nice and small. And here I ordered, so about how much, 5 of these boxes, so just black metal boxes online, also very cheap, yeah, not that much of costs, and they are in the exact needed dimension for the point liner, fine liner, markers, also one brush pen and one mechanical pen. So this is when I don't want to draw with fountain pen, just with this fine liner. Then I have also here a self-made or filled up this metal box with watercolor, and these are very new or relatively new pens. So I think three times the size of these full pens, done by Renaissance Posca. And these are, it's not sponsored, but they sent me these 5 colors for testing, and they come in this single packages. And so where do you put them in? And then I had the idea to buy some of these magnetic strips with glued on one side, and so you can add it here on the button, and then you see, holds very good. This is all with this magnetic stripes here, and so and these are other colors by Schminke or Daniel Smith, I don't know. So, and then here I have another travel brush, Da Vinci Casaneo. Also this type of watercolor brush. So it's, I think it's called the French type of building this here with these wires. And then to have a palette, I have this plastic in it, as well with magnets. Yeah, also the magnet, so that I can clean clean the palette and then push it back here, and it also holds very good in these cases. Then, so the last month when I started with this in February, one of my sketchbooks, and also usable for smaller watercolor ink, of course, with ink very good, and so smaller watercolor parts you can also use this. This is what I did yesterday, some studies about lamps and so desk lamps. You can see, you can find 1 hour, half an hour, up to 1 hour tutorials at my Patreon channel, as well here on YouTube. I think this was the very first lesson I uploaded. It's about drawing trees with ink and watercolor with different pens. There I explain every step, every different kind of trees. Yes, and here I show you the techniques to draw really straight lines and how you can practice them. Then here this was this winter, I showed you how with liquid mask and with masking tape, how you can achieve such a winter scene with snow and negative space, of course, here in the right corner. Lessons about how to make a composition and how to draw directly from a reference photo. In this case, really step by step, so it's about more than 1 hour long. Here we do something from imagination, This is a big part in my courses, Drawing from Imagination. And here also, of course, step by step, we have the focus on contrasts. And we take a reference, a cheap copy, where we higher and lower the contrasts, like here with some shadows of the Vienna, am Graben as it's called, part of the first district of Vienna. And also some of my basics are about drawing windows, the drawing tools themselves, of course, how to dynamic line work. So I hope this was a helpful overview, and it would be great when we meet in our community at my Patreon channel. Bye for now.